I don't know if I made it. Did I make 111? Oh, I got my computer right here. I didn't, I had to go live. I said 111, and it's like important because it's like angel numbers, you know. So this says 112. I'm just gonna, I know I made it in because this is a divine download, and of course it has to be on time. Hi, Angela. All right, I'm literally getting settled right now because, as you guys know, when the download comes in, I show up. And sometimes my personality likes to get in the way and not show up. And what happens is when I'm not showing up, a lot of discomfort is happening on the internal level. It's like trying to hold a, I don't know, something really wild, a possum inside a paper bag, right? It just like wants to like get out. Hey girl, hey Melissa. So when there's this download that's come through and I'm holding on to it, it's just like this uncomfortable feeling. It can feel like, I don't know, like a little bit off path or unclear or not sure what I should be doing. Also, like stories will go through of like you're doing the wrong thing, you're not doing the right thing, or you should be doing something else. You know, it's essentially, if we want to wrap all this up and tie it together, essentially that uncomfortable feeling when I'm not allowing energy to move through me and tap in and listen is that I'm not listening to soul. Like I'm just not tapping in because it's almost like there's this inner conflict between what the mind, right? My mind, you know, there's a lot of things that feel like need to be done. And at the same time, I mean, this is what I'm here and I'm teaching, right? Is like to be tapping into soul, to be like present to what's coming through you. And so that's my body's signal saying you are like in this internal conflict. I'm so focused on mind stuff, right? Even just processing it all versus like just truly dropping in and dropping into the energy and letting it move through me. And that's what happened today is like something I this whole morning had felt a little. Melissa says, oh my God, is this live for me? Yeah. Hey Zen. And so this whole morning was just I'll just say like a clusterfuck of energy, only because it was like my mind was ahead of the game and I wasn't, how do I say? You know, I mean, it was just, it's exactly perfect. And that's the point of all this, is that I wanted to tap in and share, is that like, you know, wherever you are, there's no wrong place. There's no, well, I'm not at inner peace today, so I am not doing like my spiritual path right. Or I am not like, producing wild amounts of content, so I'm not, you know, doing my business right. Or I'm not, you know, feeling zen right now or at peace, or I'm feeling pissed off and angry or overwhelmed or out of control or anxious, right? Like, why do we like make those feelings wrong, right? That's part of the human expression of energy moving through you. Where it gets challenging and where, you know, you can get stuck on these growth points is that when you stop and pause and make what's happening have any kind of meaning, right? So what happened was I was going through my whole process this morning, and it was interesting to wake up with this, like I could just feel these creepy, creeping in to my mind. And having the self-awareness that I do now, it's like I can go down that path of what's creeping in, or I can, like, you know, be masterful over my mindset and get myself back on track, right? Because we all talk about like how connected we are, right? And how we're one. Well, it's those of us, especially those that are empathic and sensitive, you know, and you know, doing healing work out in the world, part of your gift is to be able to tap into the grandness of the world, to the you know, into to see, feel, know the invisible, and to be you know, connected in those ways. So you want to be aware that sometimes some of those thoughts that come in are not even yours. They're not even yours. And this is where like you get to determine, okay, is this mine? No, usually goes right away when I ask that. Or is it something that is wanting to move through me? Again, where you get stuck is that when it's moving through you, you stop it and you make it mean something about it. Or you need to analyze why you're feeling this. Oh, I must be feeling this because I'm not doing this, or because I'm not enough of this, because, you know, you get into the mind, like those questions, that mind fuckery, goes to that, you know, I don't know, what words do I want to use? You know, the less than powerful aspect of yourself, right? You know, even when I sometimes get a little jittery about jumping on here, or you know, doing a live video or something, or even sharing something, a post or online. You know, the other day, I don't know if I've ever shared this, but like I woke up one morning, I don't even know what time it was. I felt like it was early, but I just woke up in this panic of like, oh my God, I'm all over the internet. Like it just hit me that all of this work that I've been doing, all of this that I've been sharing, all of this, you know, behind the intention of wanting to leave behind information and content and insight for people to find along their journey, you know, like there was just this part of me that was like, oh my God, like people can see me, people know who I am, people know what I believe, people can read what I think, like just feeling freaking vulnerable and exposed. Hey, Christy. And what is Melissa saying here? And my response was the only thing I had going for me. Thank you for teaching me this. Awesome. You're welcome. Yeah, it's all you can do is, you know, you have responsibility over your response, right? Your response is your responsibility, and how you handle that. Meredithia, that's beautiful. Yes. So where was I? Did I get lost? Hold on. Was I saying? Oh, so what happens is like if any of those nervous things come up, or you know the mind stories that are feeding the limiting patterns and the limiting you know mind fuckery, that when any of that comes up, it's like there's this mind shift, right? So there's this like shift into the expanded part of yourself. So right now I'm running this course called I Am the Queen of My Universe. So what we're doing inside of that space is we're expanding into the energy that is already within, just this expanded version of ourselves coming from that empowered queen space that everybody has within them, right? An archetype of the queen. And so it's like, you know, we can have everything happening at once. It's like, but what do you choose? And this is where growth comes into play. So when the nervousness comes up, it's like, okay, that can be here. There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm going to choose to give attention and align with, you know, for sake of consistency, you know, the queen within, the one who is here, who has, you know, made it her intention to be the channel of whatever she's, you know, what I'm here to be, like you know, to be a leader in this field of spiritual growth, soul growth, human evolution, consciousness expansion, fucking tapping into your magic and remembering who you are. Put that on a business card. That's what I do. So now you choose to be in the energy, and what happens is all of the human, emotional, ego, fear, insecurity shit just goes away. But the key is that you have to learn how to get to the queen energy. You have to like go to the gym and build the muscles to tap into that expanded vibration of yourself, right? To move the barriers, the emotional barriers, the energetic barriers that are in the form of I'm not enough, I'm too insecure, I don't have what it has, I don't have what it takes, to be the leader in your field, to do the healing work that you're here to do, to be the creative artist that you're here to be, right? To be the expanded version of yourself, you have to do the work to get to that space. A fucking unicorn isn't going to come down and shit rainbow on you and suddenly you're in your power. You have to do your work. And so they call it growing pains because it is a painful process in the sense of what's happening is who you are not gets broken. Who you are not gets dissolved. Who you are not gets, knocked on the head a couple of times, tapped on the shoulder quite harshly until it gets too hard. Until it gets too hard. And that's one of the messages that was coming through today was like through the growth process, it gets hard at that point. And how it gets hard at that, how do I say? Now, this is what I really want to say, is that it's almost like I'll use myself as an example. When I was in my 11-year long-term relationship, engaged, owned a house, there were signals along the way that maybe this wasn't the long-term life partner, right? But I kept staying. I kept trying to, logicalize myself. I don't know who's coming through me today, but they're funny. So make a lot of logic about what the experience was and, try to make it right. Going against my soul, going against my heart knowing, going against what that inner, more quieter voice inside was telling me and guiding me. And so then it's what happens is that when you ignore, you quiet down, you logicalize, you, push aside, you push down, you ignore, it gets worse. It just gets worse. And then what happens is that, I think back and it's the breakup was a little hard, and I wonder if it didn't have to be that hard, just the way things kind of went down. And hard, of course, is always, it's perspective and it comes from ego space. So it's take a look, how, are you putting things off that you are ignoring that inner soul, which is where that expanded version of you is. Those spaces in between are the self-growth work, the releasing the fears, letting go of the past traumas. But it's in this way of moving forward and tuning more into who you are. And what you'll know is you'll see that what's in the way will break, will fall away, but as you're continuing to grow forward. And so, see, my mind wants to make sure I'm staying on track with what the title is instead of just letting whatever I'm flowing and see, and then I stop. So I will just share that piece with you peeps. So Melissa says, well, if you work with Kelly Amatiskevitz, you feel like you have a unicorn. So all you have to do is show up for yourself and you will see the magic. Yeah, it's true. When clients show up who are so just ready to surrender, ready to let go of what is in the way, the growth can happen. And the cool thing is that, I call it growing pains, and sometimes it is uncomfortable, but it's less uncomfortable when you have somebody alongside you, supporting you, shining the light, guiding the direction, and supporting the whole process. I mean, there was something else that wanted to come through today, because I was inspired to do this today because of a mentor I'm working with, and I can't even remember. I was I'm going to use that point in the video. It'll come back, but I don't know, it'll come back. But here's the thing is that the process of growth, I wouldn't, and I need to know. Now I need to know. Part A of my brain wants to know what the title of this is so I can, so talk amongst yourselves. Tell me what you're getting out of this. What are you feeling as far as like your growth process goes? Like, where are you? Oh, here, I'm back on track for a second. Or maybe longer, the growth process, right? So it is about expanding into what is already within you, right? This energetic expansion, this like strength of your soul, where your magic lies. Like Melissa was just sharing, but it's like what I do is I ignite. I like no, I don't like. It's like I help her, guide her, show her, shine the light on where her magic is already within her. I'm like ducking my head because of my phone rather than just fix my phone. So it's all within you. And so when you're expanding into this, when you're tapping in, when you're aligning with the expanded, your expanded version of yourself, your soul, your energy, right? So it's like you tap into that, and then it's like, it's learning how to maintain that expanded vibration. Because tell me, you guys, how many of you have like gotten really excited about something, really motivated, whether it be a diet or going to the gym or, getting back into dating or starting your business or writing your blog or putting a program together. You're really excited and you start forward momentum, but then almost like when you get right to that point where you're going to launch the thing or you're going to go on the date or you're going to push live on Facebook, suddenly you stop. Some kind of chaos happens, or you get a distraction, or you get sick, or you get too scared, and then you don't do the thing. It's because you haven't expanded to that energetic vibration and locked it in. It's like going to the gym, building up the muscles. You've got to continually go to keep that strength. Same thing with the energetic vibration. Same thing as allowing yourself to be the fullest expression of yourself, because so many of us have come into this life experience with these programmings and these past lives and all of these things that, we've come here to like outgrow and like really unveil who we are deep within ourselves and remember the truth of who we are in like, soul in this human experience, a piece of the universe, incarnate, walking around earth, however you want to see yourself. So Meredithia says, I needed this reminder, more and more refined, yet the same technique. So to wrap it up, let me see what my title was. So yeah, what else are you guys getting from this? Let me see if that thing about my mentor will come back in. You know what's super cool about working with a mentor too? Is that it's almost, I tell my clients when they come in to do work with me, especially inside one-on-one work, there is an energetic sacred container that is created where there is, and this is why I work with hell yes people. Like I can tell someone say, oh, I want to work with you, I want to work with you. And some slip through, but others who come in, because I can tell if there's a real readiness or there's not. And because inside that sacred container, like there is that opportunity for that transformation and change to happen. And I'm holding grand space. And like, when you show up for yourself like that, like amazing things happen. I mean, telepathic communication is happening, on the same page, like, shifts are happening because, I'm holding this energetic space and vision of the version of my client that they say that they want to be and who I see them as this, divine being. And I, holding that space and holding that vision also holds that space and that vision. Oh, it's almost like what's coming through is like a movie playing in their background that, oh yeah, I can do it too. I see it. I can do it too. It's almost like having someone energetically just like, you can do it. You can do it. This space is here. Here we are on the 52nd floor. Come on out of the elevator doors. Read my last post. That's where that little bit of that is from. Melissa says, I can't talk enough about the space. It's everything. It's everything. There's so much that goes on between the time that I am meeting with my private clients, you know, than it is just on the calls. I mean, the calls are amazing too, but the time and the space in between is just like so great. So, I mean, I love playing in this field. I love playing with this energy work. I love that I get to work with some amazing badass people. So, who are, like, you know, doing phenomenal things in the world and ripple effects out in the world. And if your work is someone that you have a ripple effect on somebody on the world, and you're doing healing work, or you're doing channeling, or a lot of content out in the world, and this, as a sensitive leader, your energy field, what you hold, you're being asked to even hold more energy to be a channel of consciousness, healing energy, like expansion, right? So that's what I'm talking about with this growth process is that, yeah, this is so funny. Oh, I'm going to go back to what I was going to say. So the process of growth is, right? So you have this, well, I'll keep it super simple. And I said it again, but I said it before, but I'll say it again. It's like you have this insight, you have this inspiration. You're ready for this change. You're ready to do the damn thing. You're ready to like let your soul be an expression through you, and just like let go all of the human limitations and, the outer manifestations of what you feel like is going to give you the success or have you feel like you're a valuable person and you've finally made it because you've got all the things. Well, I'll tell you, I had all the fucking things, and guess what? Because I didn't have what was inside, it was all worthless. And so it starts within. And I'm not saying any of those things are bad. I'm not saying any of the outer things are bad, but I will tell you right now, one, it's simpler to create and attract your experiences when you're aligned from the inside, and they're so much more pleasurable when the connections that you make are soulmate connections, where there's when you're in these divine relationships and you're having fun and you're playing and you're creating and you're having like experiences and synchronicity, and you're in flow and you're like tapped into your own heart and letting yourself move through you, like letting it move through you, so much easier than driving 2 hours back and forth to work and doing 60 hours a week to pay for the car and the house. But that's just me. And again, I feel like you can have it all, but just like, where are you coming from in it? Where are you coming from? Are you coming from that inside space? Because what I know is that you're going to have to be okay if it all ever goes away. Because the relationship could go away, the job could go away, the house could go away. Are you going to be okay if that goes away? So that's why the inside matters. And, the vibrational work is what I do. Vibrational and unfuck your mind work is what I do along that growth journey, right? So here we go. We get the inspiration, we get the insight, we get excited about something. We're going to do this thing. And then you start to do it. And then what happens is what starts to bubble up invisibly, or maybe even manifest physically in physical pain and, in some kind of depression, or even chaos and distraction in life. Someone else gets sick, someone else gets hurt, something else becomes a priority, distracting you from your own path, because you are that creative. You are that creative that you created that experience to distract you from what's coming up. Because as you're moving forward, whatever is not aligned with your truth. So if you're wanting to, go get back to the gym and put some attention into your physical fitness, but underneath the surface, you're scared as shit of being seen, or, because, well, I'll just, like, that was my thing. It was like my excess weight was something that kept me from being seen. And so as I was on that journey of like, trying to release the weight over so many years of roller coaster dieting, holy fuck, that it wasn't until I dealt with the underlying fears about having this body and having it looked at, that I was able to finally lose and keep the weight off. So the same thing is like, if you're moving forward and doing your business, you're writing your blog, you're ready to put your self out there as a healer, and you get to the point, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't have the right website, or I don't have the business cards, or maybe I don't have enough education, or I should, I don't have the office, I don't have the right thing, I don't have the right whatever, right? You got to start taking a look at, or I don't have the time. Like taking a look at the distractions that you're putting into your path, keeping you from doing the thing that you're meant to be doing. Because again, when it's just going to only become more, I keep doing my body, because the body's subconscious mind. So this is where the misalignments manifest, right? The different intestinal, the different digestion issues, the, physical pains, all signals of your subconscious mind and what you're thinking. And that's why in doing this work, it's like a holistic practice of what I do. And I don't know. I can't say enough about how it's like when you truly understand what is going on within, you are so much more empowered. There's so much energy moving through me right now. You are so much more empowered to be, navigating the energy versus it navigating you. And so through this growth process, you're expanding, right? So you face what comes up, you deal with the emotional issues around it, you do the energy work around it, and then it expands you into like this, I don't know, now you're on the 60th floor, right? Now you're in this, for metaphorical purposes only. So, now it's like, now you get this, now you're like, oh, let me tune in to who is this person that does lives now, or who is this person that does healing, or who is this person that is successful, more successful than their family? Because sometimes what people do, and check in with yourself, is you get to this expanded space and you're like, it's something that you really worked hard for, but then you go and fuck it up. Then you go and like sabotage it because it's just too uncomfortable, that expansion. And it'll look like something outside of you. It'll look like some really logical, thing, reason, whatever, that you can't stay at that expanded space, but it's not. It's not. It's you. So the process of growth is also learning how to maintain that growth, to maintain that expansion. Because otherwise, if you don't get the stuff that is in the way, like up and through and out, you're just going to keep stopping you. You're going to keep coming back into those patterns. You're going to keep trying to not be seen. You're going to be, keep tapping into that cycle of insecurity. You're going to keep getting back into the comfort zone, even when it's an uncomfortable zone. You're going to keep, tuning back into that limitation, because the limitation actually feels more comfortable than the expansion, because the growth is uncomfortable, because the expansion is uncomfortable, because it does go into those spaces, because it does question your limitations, and it's going to break and it's going to hurt, but it's temporary, because what's happening is you are subtly hurting yourself along the way. Don't put off what wants to come through you, or who you're meant to be, or what you're meant to be doing any longer, because it's just going to get harder. It just, the resistance becomes more challenging than just fully surrendering to the thing that wants to move through you, and dealing with it on the moment notice. And, even in the work I do, I teach people the tools, how to, continue through this growth process. So it's like, you worked with your gym trainer for like sculpting and, tightening and, building muscle. Then you get to continue on and be able to do that on your own. And then when you're ready to take it to the next level, you go back to the trainer again. You're like, all right, I'm ready, next level. Let's do this. So let's see. Melissa says, the amount of growth within myself from start of the course to the end with Kellyanne. Oh my God. So much more than I ever imagined. You just never know what your magic is until you allow it to come through you. And that space is beyond powerful. Yeah, Melissa, well said. It's so true. It's like, clients come to me because, here's the thing. It's like this. Yeah, never mind. I could go on a tangent. Clients come to me because they're like, there's a feeling. They're like, I'm off track. I'm off track. And sometimes in the beginning, they're like so focused on, this is the path I'm going on. I'm trying to make it work. I'm like doing it, forcing it, being really hard on myself. And in turn, as we do the work together, what we unveil, it's been so hard because it's not your truth. It's not what you're meant to be doing. There's still some kind of even spiritual constructs that you're holding on to like force yourself in a direction that's not soul aligned, but because it dropped in as like this idea, and maybe it was just part of the path, but what is the next thing? Like, what is the next thing that wants to come through you? Let me see if there's something more with that. Yeah, so what was cool is that probably, I don't even know. Anyway, I actually, she sent me a note not too long ago and just said, like, this is the clearest I've ever been about my mission. I feel like so much in flow. I feel so like on purpose. And what happened is like things just started to unfold and open up, and an office opportunity came, and like exactly what she had wanted. But what she had to do, so when we had started, but what she had to do is do some inner adjustments so that she could show up who she like truly is, right? Instead of like more of a shell, more of a avatar of this thing. She had to, like, in the work together, she embodied it, going through some of those growth processes of, letting go who she wasn't. Yeah, so Jeff says he's totally getting it. Roberta says playing the old tapes through your mind. Yeah, it's like Jeff says challenge accepted. Yeah. Which challenge? I wasn't paying attention. So, tapes. Yeah, it's the tapes. You got to eject the tapes. And here's the thing. You also have to put new tapes in. But you know what? When I started my journey so many years ago, I started it with self-love. And it was challenging for me to, get to that space of like looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. Oh, look, I'm looking at myself right now. I love you. And even when I do that, just like this warmth comes through me. But in the beginning, it felt awkward, felt uncomfortable, because I didn't know what self-love was. So, what is my point? Why am I sharing my self-love journey? I don't know. There you go. That's what it is. It's like, it's been this growth and evolution process, and it is. And, Melissa says, you are amazing. I love you too. So it's like, maybe that's all I had to say. So, but I want you to know, it's just like bananas to me. So maybe it's something in my energy, or, or my mindset, but these groups that I've been running have been phenomenal. And this group that came in this month for December, it's called I Am the Queen of My Universe. I resisted putting it out there because I'm like, what is this? Like, can't I have something like even like cool? This seems like kind of, but the funny thing is that like when I, and the first of the month was coming closer and closer, and I wanted to like, do some marketing and share what was this course even about, because I do them every month, but every month there's a theme, and the theme matches the collective energy, right? So astrology, like what's going on in the astrology, but what I do, I don't listen to the astrology. I will after, but I tap into I read the energy field. I read the energy, and then I download the course that's meant to come through that for those that are ready to move through the energy. So when it came through as like, I am the queen of my universe, I was like, okay. I resisted it, and then it got closer and closer. And then once I dropped in to the energy again of it, and like got my, my ego mind out of the way, of like, who does she think she is? Or whatever, stories were going through my mind. Like, queen of the universe, who thinks they're well, everybody should think they're the fucking queen of the universe, because you are the queen of your universe. And until you start acting like it, you're going to be fucked around by jokers and distractions and all of that. So get on your fucking throne, put your crown on, and let's do this. So I got out of the way, came through, and then people started coming in, and the first handful of people that came into the course said to me, I'm feeling this queen energy. I'm feeling this powerful energy. And so it was like confirmation. Another all right, Kelly, remember, get out of the way. You are the channel. And so what's been coming through is what's so cool about this queen energy is that she's like a queen. She just kind of sat back and was like, all right, Kelly, you do your thing, but I'll wait until you're ready, and then we'll come through. And she's coming through, and I'm loving it. And doors close tomorrow. So if anything that I'm sharing feels good for you, and you're inspired, or maybe even you want to talk to me about doing some one-on-one work, where we can go super deep. But what's so cool about what's been created inside this group is that it's a beautiful group support, amazing people inside, and we're going to be 21 days together, unfucking your mind, releasing limitations, tapping into that expanded version of yourself, that expanded vibration, learning how to maintain that vibrational frequency. And so that's why I talk about getting to the next level. And there's 4 spaces left for anybody that wants to have one-on-one time with me. Could you imagine some of this? One-on-one, me and you on the phone. How fun could that be? Because it is. What happens is that I blast right to the core of whatever's going on for someone. We get right to the core challenge, or if they want an intuitive reading or an energy clearing or an up-leveling, whatever it is, we do it. And I'm loving those 30-minute sessions. They're so powerful. I'm actually considering changing them for my private coaching moving forward in 2019. So there's 4 of those left. I mean, the value of that call is nearly the value of the entire course. It's like a no-brainer to me. And then what happens is then we get to spend the time inside the course, and I've got some intimate information on you that I can be, guiding and supporting you inside the group. Seriously. I mean, it's like the people inside the group know. It's just great. It's kind of like, and I get it. The other side of this too is that not everybody's ready for this queen energy that's coming through. That's the other thing is not everybody's ready for this. So know that, even with people in your life. So those of you that are on the spiritual journey, those of you who are on the soul growth, the consciousness journey, is that not everybody's going to be on the same path as you. Not everybody's going to be ready to be looking at their stuff, to be expanding, to be even more fucking amazing, to be more abundant, to be happier, to be freer. What matters is what you want for you. And to not stop your growth process along the way because of what may be going on in the outside of your life, what others may be doing, what others may be, you might be afraid of what others might feel because, you become, a bigger, happier, freer, more abundant, healthier version of yourself. So just don't keep putting it off. If you're feeling it within you, there's something that wants to come through. The more you put it off, the harder it's going to be, the more it's going to hurt. I don't know. Take the leap, do the thing, get the support that you need. The net will appear, get out of your own way and see what your own magic is. Find out what your true magic is. I'd say that one of my superpowers is being able to go in and see, where that avatar is, where you're walking around as an avatar versus a soul aligned being the full expression of consciousness. Because it's just flow and ease, and what comes along, how to, transcend and ride the wave and do the damn thing. So let me just tune in and see if there's anything else I have to say to you today. This was so freaking fun. Melissa says, I am a queen of this life, past life, and more lives to come. Yes. Oh my God, Melissa, you know what? It's like, Melissa, she is just like, oh my God, so funny. Anyway, us working together is like this magic and fun and play and like, I did this. Like, I worked my ass off to get out of the way, whatever was in my way of me connecting with soulmate clients, enjoying the work that I do, the determination, the endurance to move through whatever it is that was popped up for me and pops up for me and keep going. I keep going. Winners keep going. Successful people keep going. Unsuccessful people quit. Is that, yeah. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. All right, let me just tune in and see if there's anything else I have to say. Hi, Charlotte. Charlotte, it's been a while. It's been a minute. How you doing? Hey, Taylor, how are you? Who else is here? Hi, friends. All right. I want to make sure I said hi to everybody. I'm just going to see if there's anything else I want to say. No, I think that's it, man. That was fire. All I can say is that was fun. Oh, well, I mean, I'll share this, is that, it was like, I was like, oh, I'm going live at 1:11. And that only happened, like, I used to tell you guys, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put like a post like 15 minutes ahead or something like that, or 20 minutes ahead. It's usually a half hour. And then that gives me time to kind of run around, make sure that, like, my hair looks decent. See, I did a good job today, right? And make sure I have some water, or like brush my teeth, or whatever. Maybe put a little lip gloss on. It's sitting right over there on the counter, on the ottoman. But the energy was coming through fast and hard. And it was almost like it was accumulating all morning. And then it was just like ready to burst. Like the volcano was here. And I don't know, did you guys feel it on this? Did you guys feel this on this transmission? I sure did. And so when I came over, I was like, all right, I looked at the clock. I was like, all right, I'll do it at 1:30. And that was like a half hour away. And then it was just like this energy was like, nope, like right now, you've got 9 minutes. And I did it. So, I mean, that's just like a testament to what I'm even saying to you right now, is because even, just think, it's just like, even if I put stuff off, it just gets harder to like, rip the Band-Aid off. It gets harder to start. The longer I put things off, the harder it is to, jumpstart the thing. I think about like even going back to the gym. It's like the longer that, not going back to the gym, the harder it is to start again. Right? So, I was listening last night. Oh God, it was so good. What did hold on. She said something so good. It was just like the practice, is my journal here. The practice, the daily practice, yeah, it's coming back to me. It's like the daily practice, doing the thing that you say you want to do as a daily practice prevents any kind of questioning from coming in, right? So for example, it's like what she said last night. She's like, just say that you decide, how about you just go to the gym every day? You don't have to do hardcore every day, but you go to the gym every day. So it's just like a non-negotiable. Because if you start to say to yourself, well, I'll go to the gym 3 times a week. Well, then the day comes and you can be like, oh, well, I'll go tomorrow. Oh, well, I'll go tomorrow. It becomes a negotiable. The daily practice makes it a habit. It makes it a non-negotiable. It makes it just something that you're just going to do. And so like the stories will not get in your way, right? Those stories won't get in your way of doing the thing that you say you want to do. So whether it's meditation, or, sharing your art, or practicing your art, or, whatever, your, spiritual growth, your exercise, your healthy living, whatever it is, make it a daily practice so that, this is kind of like one of those backdoor, like, unfuck your mind. It's like, by making it a daily practice, then there's no room for the stories to come in. There's just no room for that. I mean, they'll come in, but you've determined and committed to it being a daily practice. Does that make sense? I loved it. I love you. Thank you for showing up today. If you, I'll leave a link here for it's actually www.kellyandcorey.com/I am the queen. Tomorrow the door's closed. We've already started. There's some great content in there and more coming through. Our first live transmission is going to be this week, where inside that space I do intuitive readings for people. I soul channel. I drop the divine downloads that are connected with this energy that is aligned with the intentions that I've shared throughout this video and in the blog. So make sure you check that out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your contribution and your energy, and for all of your love and your likes and your comments. And I don't know. See you soon.